everybody, welcome to the Real Games Cast, episode 3. I'm your host, Mitch Smith, alongside the most majestic name in the business, Jordan Augustus Dean, and the plethora of pterodactyls, Tristan Shuler. What, you like that? It's pretty funny, I know. I'm hilarious. LOL. Okay.
Just LOL.
Here at the Real Games Cast, we are a weekly episodic show where we bring 3 random topics of discussion each and every week for your amusement. Our topics are always in the realm of entertainment, video games, movies, television, or comic books. You know, I don't think we've talked about comic books one single time yet on the show.
No.
It's eventually going to happen.
Did we talk about the Joker? The Joker's new
that was
origin?
an article.
Oh.
Yeah. I wrote an article about the Joker that you can check out at realgames.org.
Please do.
Nice little segue there.
Yeah, I'm good. I know. If you like what we're doing, guys, you can tweet us at RealGamesCast. You can support us at patreon.com/RealGames. And you can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/RealGamesCast. You can also visit our website, realgames.org, for all the stuff that we write, including reviews of 50 Shades of Grey and Kingsman: The Secret Service, along with Tristan Shuler's review of Evolve. So we got a lot of big reviews up there. We got more coming with the Order coming out this week. We'll be reviewing that. And, we have a lot of reviews in there. And something else that we're going to start on our site. I haven't even told you to this, so they will get it at the same time you do. We're going to start doing what I call retro reviews. We're going to go back. We're going to play old games, and we're going to review them as if they came out in 2015. So we're going to hold them to the standards that we hold games to now and see how they stack up. For example, our first one, which I'm playing through right now, is the original Assassin's Creed. So as soon as I finish the game, I'm going to write our first retro review and put that up on the site. And that'll be something fun to do for us, where we get to go back, revisit old games, and tell you guys if they're still worth playing or if they have not aged very well.
You should do Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, you should do Red Dead Redemption as much as you talk about that damn game.
So, just look at it.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, Jordan's a bit obsessed. Anyway, we're going to move forward with the show. We're going to go to Tristan Shuler because he has a topic that we all have to talk about. So, Shuler, what are we talking about?
We will be talking about Spider-Man joining the Avengers in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Which I happened to report over a month ago on my personal Facebook. Of course, no one happened to realize that I'd done it.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I approved.
You and 4 other people.
Hey, those 4 people rule the world.
I made sure to point that out on Facebook as soon as I think it was Variety that reported it this time. Then everyone's like, "Oh yeah, now it's official."
Yeah. Anyways, we had the news first.
That's right. We had it a month ago.
Just
saying.
About Spider-Man, I'll talk about some of the facts that I know. Andrew Garfield will not be returning.
Fact.
I don't know how they're going to incorporate him into the Avengers, but his first appearance is rumored to be
Civil War
with Captain America. Which they said they finished the script for that, didn't they? So are they like rewriting him into the script?
There will probably be a rewrite, or they will just use him in a minor role, maybe a cameo. He might be the post-credit scene.
That's what I'm thinking. The post-credit scene.
That's what I would bet on too. But then again, one of the major parts of the Civil War comic story
is when he unmasks himself.
Is when Peter Parker reveals himself to the world.
And that'd be a really weird after credit scene.
It would. That's that thing that's got to happen in the middle of the movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's where he debuts. He debuts by showing. Maybe they talk about Spider-Man, and he pops up and he reveals himself.
Yeah. Maybe even have him like swinging by at some points. Not really talking. But
yeah.
Okay, so we have, since Andrew Garfield was not returning, which I'm very upset about because Andrew Garfield is my favorite thing about the Amazing Spider-Mans. I thought he was amazing Peter Parker and Spider-Man. But the 2 actors being looked at right now are Dylan O'Brien, which if you don't know him, he's from the show Teen Wolf and Maze Runner, the movie adaptation of Maze Runner. And then Logan Lerman, was he in Fury?
Yes.
He's in Fury, and he's also Percy Jackson in the Percy Jackson and Olympian movies. So my personal favorite is I'm going with Dylan O'Brien because in Teen Wolf he plays a very nerdy kind of character.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually in the 3rd season he gets power, and you can see how he does with that. So if they ever went with the Black Spider-Man route, he could do that too. So, but he can definitely play an amazing Peter Parker, and I believe he could do an amazing Spider-Man too.
Of those 2, I want Logan Lerman.
Yeah.
Because he's just from some. Have you seen Fury? I don't think
Yeah.
you have. I thought he was outstanding in the movie.
He was good at Fury.
And he's just one of those actors that could really play Peter Parker well.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Well, out of those two, I would choose Logan Lerman. If I had a personal preference, originally I said Sam Chafin from The Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Finnick. I later went back and changed my mind. I would love to see Anton Yelchin. You may know him from Star Trek. Plays Chekhov.
Yeah.
Or if you've watched the Terminator movies, in Salvation, he plays Kyle Reese.
Oh, okay.
So he's played, he's been in some bigger roles. I would really like to see Anton Yelchin because he's a small little guy. He doesn't look a day over 15 years old.
Yeah.
He could definitely play a high school version of Peter Parker, if they even go with a high school version of Peter Parker.
Well, see, the thing is, I've been reading a lot of fan picks and reviews. There's a lot of people saying they want Tobey Maguire to come back.
No.
Simply, I don't agree with the decision. But here's their reasoning, because that's the Spider-Man Civil War storyline is supposed to be married with Mary Jane.
Mm-hmm.
He's supposed to be out of high school. He's supposed to be like a high school professor, teacher, whatnot. And when he makes his drastic unveiling of his secret identity, he's supposed to have been Spider-Man for many years. The one thing that really stinks about this Spider-Man going to Marvel is now they literally have to squeeze him in one movie. Now, if they connected it to the Amazing Spider-Man, that would work. But as you said, we're not doing Andrew Garfield anymore.
Right.
So my thought is...
Well, if you connect it with Amazing Spider-Man, you also have the controversy of, where was Spider-Man during the New York attack on New York?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And there's a lot of things saying that maybe he was doing perimeter work. He wasn't featured because he was taking care of the Chitauri that the Avengers didn't originally get. But I'm so happy that Spider-Man's finally here.
Mm-hmm.
We're ready to see him, how Marvel does their play on
Have you seen the actual terms of the agreement between Sony and Marvel?
Oh yeah, Sony's not getting Marvel's not getting
Marvel
money.
is not paying a single dollar to Sony. Marvel's going to make every movie, whether he be in an Avengers universe movie or in his own universe. Marvel's going to make the movie. Kevin Feige and Amy Pascal are going to make the movies. And if it's a solo movie, Sony is going to finance it and keep the profit. If it is in the MCU, Marvel will finance it and keep the profit. Makes a lot of sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see why maybe Fox and Marvel can't do this with Wolverine.
Oh, yeah.
And bring Hugh Jackman has said several times that he wants to be in an Avengers movie.
Mm-hmm.
He's not been very shy about it.
No. I think he doesn't have very many years left to play Wolverine.
He doesn't. He has said himself, I think Wolverine 3
is
going to be his last one.
Which that comes out next year.
No, Wolverine 2 comes out next year.
2017?
Wolverine 2 comes out next year.
Oh, I thought they were including X-Men Origins Wolverine in that trilogy.
God, I hope not, because let's try to erase that movie from our memory completely.
I didn't even know there was a Wolverine 3. I thought there was Wolverine 2 and then X-Men.
Yeah, I thought they considered the Wolverine as a second movie in that.
Yeah.
Oh.
I could be.
They could. I really don't know. To me, I think they try to forget that X-Men Origins Wolverine happened.
Mm-hmm.
Understandably. There was a really good video game spin-off of that movie.
That was a good game.
Had that God of War engine in it.
Yeah.
The game was better than the movie was.
It was a lot better, except it had the
not
movie
hard,
story.
Not hard to do that, though.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, because you can actually put violence and blood in the video game. You can't do that much in a superhero movie.
Well, plus you got that amazing adaptation of Deadpool in there. I say that with the utmost level of sarcasm.
God, I can't wait for that movie.
I just call him Deadpool.
Deadpool?
Deadpool.
You don't need to talk anymore.
We have comedy here. Ha ha ha.
Oh.
Okay. So, with Spider-Man, what if this flops? What if Spider-Man his first solo movie or his third reboot is going to be in 2017, supposedly. They've shifted Black Panther and all these other movies around it. I think Thor Ragnarok got pushed back.
Pretty much everything besides...
Everything but the Avengers.
Civil War.
Yeah.
Everything but the Avengers. They didn't push back Avengers 3. What if that movie comes out in 2017 and no one cares? similar to Amazing Spider-Man 2, the movie did not do very well at the box
No.
office. Is the number of reboots starting to hurt Spider-Man bad?
Well, see, here's the problem with the reboots. Okay, so when did Spider-Man 3 come out? What year?
2007.
Roughly.
I want to say somewhere around then. And then Amazing Spider-Man came out in what?
2012.
2012.
Yep,
right?
5 years later.
So
Which
and now
was
we're having again.
it was supposed to be Spider-Man 4. Sam Raimi was going to be back, but in the end, he left due to creative differences with Sony. Amy Pascal ended up getting fired, and that just
Yeah.
that bombed the project. So that's why they rebooted it. And according to the terms that Marvel and Sony had before this new deal, when they originally sold the Spider-Man rights back in the 90s, Sony had to make a Spider-Man movie every 5 years to keep the rights, or they had to give them back to Marvel. So I can understand why Sony just in 2012 they're like, we have to make a movie. Spider-Man 4 is not happening, so I can understand why they're like, we got just reboot it, just do something, make a movie.
Now, as I was saying, the problem with the reboots is people are getting worn out on Spider-Man, but the only other hero that can really measure up to Spider-Man's rogues gallery is Batman. So
I mean, I think I read one time that every major villain in Marvel's universe started in Spider-Man before they went out
Yeah.
I would say most likely.
into the rest of the Marvel universe.
It's just that Spider-Man, you could literally make 20 movies, each with a different villain. And they could all be good.
Like you say about Batman's Rogues Galaxy, in DC, everybody starts either with Batman, Superman, or Flash.
Yeah.
Before they move out somewhere, except for Sinestro.
Who's Green Lantern?
And then you have a couple of them that sneak by Wonder Woman.
Maybe Cheetah.
Yeah.
But according to what I read, and this was a long time ago, so I may be misquoting it, but it said basically every single major villain in Marvel's universe started in Spider-Man.
I'd say the only one that pops off the top of my head right now that isn't would be Doctor Doom.
That's who I was about to say. Doctor Doom's the only one
I would say
that
they all have their own like their major villains. Hulk has Abomination, which I'm pretty sure appeared in Hulk.
Yeah. Doctor Doom,
Fantastic Four, the Mandarin, and Iron Man.
But those secondary villains, those are the ones that all start off with Spider-Man.
Well, I mean, it's easy to just throw people at Spider-Man and just let him fight them, take them down, because people don't read Spider-Man for the villains most of the time. I can't think of 5 villains right now that are central to Spider-Man. Doc Ock,
Green Goblin.
The Goblins, Doc Ock, Sandman,
and Venom.
Scorpion,
Venom.
Carnage.
Well, that's
Shuler's just naming off.
My God, though, with Venom, Scorpion, Carnage, I mean, you got 15 versions of freaking Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true too. That's another thing. Spider movies can literally go on for the next century because you got Amazing Spider-Man,
Ultimate
Spider-Man, then you got Amazing Spider-Man.
What if they choose to not use Peter Parker?
Use Miles Morales.
And Miles Morales is Spider-Man in these movies.
Well, I'm pretty sure I read the night that they announced this that they were going to use Peter Parker.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure they will. Common sense says to me they're going to use Peter Parker.
Because Miles Morales wasn't in the Civil War storyline. It's Peter Parker.
But it would be something new.
Yeah.
Is I guess my point.
And maybe this solo movie for Spider-Man, maybe what they're going to do with the Spider-Man Marvel Cinematic Universe is they're going to have him as already been established, but we just never hear about him.
I would hope that he's already been established. We do not need to see Uncle Ben die for the 3rd time.
No.
Or him fight. Let's see. The first film was Green Goblin, and the second Amazing Spider-Man was. It needs to be a more obscure villain.
And please, Jesus, if he's going to fight the Goblin again, let Norman Osborn be the freaking Goblin.
Yeah.
As good as Dane DeHaan was in Amazing Spider-Man 2, it really upset me that we never saw Norman in the suit.
Yeah.
They went straight to Hobgoblin.
And if they were doing that, the Green Goblin from that version should have been the gigantic, almost Hulk-like creature.
Right.
It should have looked like a Green Goblin.
Right.
Now, what I believe they should do, here's what I think that Marvel needs to do with Spider-Man. So they introduced him in Civil War storyline. Okay, but he's got to have been established. So kind of like they're doing Batman with Batman vs Superman.
Right.
Batman's been out for years.
He's already there.
But he's there. You just don't hear about him.
Right.
There's no mention of Batman in Man vs. Steel except the little Easter eggs of winning
Which
prizes.
the difference with Spider-Man and Batman is, Batman is one of those heroes that can get off the radar very quickly. He can disguise himself in the shadows, and he can go years without being seen and whatnot. Spider-Man is always out in the day fighting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. So we need to wrap this up. Finish your pitch.
Okay. So have Spider-Man already been established. Have him reveal his secret identity in Civil War. Then with the solo movie, have it kind of like they're going to eventually do the Batman solo movie. He's still established. Maybe not kind of like the Arkham Origins. He's not at the beginning of his career and he's not in the end, but he's kind of sort of in the middle, still finding his way. And don't make it a big villain. Don't make it Doc Ock, Goblin, Venom. Make it an obscure villain, maybe like Hammerhead.
Right.
So just make it, or Chameleon.
Or even Rhino.
Yeah, just make it someone that.
Now that they have the rights to Daredevil, I would love to see Spider-Man and Kingpin.
And maybe that's another thing they could do, a Spider-Man Netflix show.
That Spider-Man won't be on TV.
That'd be like putting Batman on TV. I
think if anything like that would happen, I think I could see Daredevil crossing over with Spider-Man in a movie.
All right.
So let's just hope MCU does it right, doesn't mess it up.
For the third time.
Spider-Man.
Right. And guys, that's the end of topic 1. We'll be back momentarily with topic 2 of this week's Real Games Cast.